face at work again. Not only that, but everyone was talking about me, either with pity or suspicion in their eyes, like I was a criminal right along with him. Matt had a regular job as a red team specialist. Legit hackers who are paid by companies to go in and try to penetrate their systems. I assumed all that time he spent on his computer at night was him working hard to get ahead. At least, that was his perpetual excuse when challenged. Nothing makes you feel more naive than discovering the man you had been engaged to is actually a criminal who was stealing from people and committing said thefts while living with you. I looked up one of the people the FBI had mentioned in relation to Matt's criminal activities. The woman had a weird name that stuck out to me for some reason. And when I found her, I learned that she was a widow with 3 grandchildren, a son in the military, and was a recently retired nurse. It made me sick to my stomach. Still does when I think about it. I told the FBI everything I knew, which was nothing. I explained that I had ended things with Matt 3 days prior to them arresting him. Pure coincidence. I was fed up with the monotony of our relationship, of being engaged and never discussing or planning our wedding, of living with someone I never saw because he was always locked away in his office, too preoccupied with his computer to pay me even an ounce of attention. But really, deep down, I knew I wasn't in love with him anymore. I didn't even shed a tear over our breakup. In fact, I was more relieved than anything. I knew I had dodged a bullet getting out when I did. And then the FBI showed up. I ended it with him, before I knew he was a total and complete loser. I tack on, feeling more defensive about the situation than I care to admit. Shifting my weight on my uncomfortable wooden chair, I cross my legs at the knee and stare sightlessly out into the bar. "And we applaud you for that," Rena says, nudging Margot and then Aria in the shoulders, forcing them to concur. "It was the absolute right thing to do. But you've been miserable and mopey and very anti-men," Margot finishes for her, tossing back her lemon drop shot with disturbing exuberance. I think that's number 3 for her already, which means it could be a long night. Margot has yet to learn the art of moderation. "Right." Aria nods exaggeratedly at Margot, like she just hit the nail on the head, tossing her messy dark curls over her shoulders before twisting them up into something that resembles a bun. "Anti-men. I'm not saying you need to date anyone here. You don't even have to go home with them. Just let them buy you a drink. Have a normal conversation with a normal guy." I scoff. "And you think I'll find one of those in here?" I splay my arms out wide, waving them around. All these men look like players. They're in groups with other men, smacking at each other and pointing at the various women who walk in. They're clearly rating them. And if a woman just so happens to pass by, they blatantly turn and stare at her ass. This is a hookup bar. All dark mood lighting, annoying, trendy house music in the background, and uncomfortable seating. The kind designed to have you standing all night before you take someone home. And now I understand why my very attentive friends brought me here. It's not our usual go-to place. It's like high school or a frat house in here, and definitely not in a good way. I bet all these guys bathed in Axe body spray, gelled up their hair, and left their mother's basement to come here and find a chick to bang. I put air quotes around those words. I have zero interest in being part of that scheme. "Well," Rena's voice drifts off, scanning the room desperately. "I know I can find you someone worthy." "Don't waste your brain function. I'm still not interested."